When I think about the need for a church in Nocatee, there is a historical way to answer that question. And that would be back in 2007, 8, and 9, there were a group of people at our church that saw this community that was about to be developed called Nocatee.
Our vision back then was the same as it is now. It's to reach all of Jacksonville with all of Jesus for all of life. And the intent was to plant a satellite location in the Nocatee area, which has just been an area that's been growing tremendously over the years. And knowing that that's where the people were coming, in this region, and to be able to put a church plant there to reach those was the intent. When we first started, we were just having services on Wednesday night to kind of get things up and running. And then after a few weeks, we started having a service on Sunday mornings. And then a few months after that, then we started Sunday school. So it took a little while to get everything kind of organized and in place. But I was someone who never thought that I would be attending church in a high school. It just didn't feel right. The Lord humbled me very quickly, and He made me realize it's not the building that you're in. It's just being with fellow believers.
One of the unique parts about meeting in the high school that we were meeting in, though, in Ponte Vedra High School, was all of the setup work that we had to do. And so one of the first things that I did as a volunteer at the church is there was like the SEAL team of people who would just get together at 7 a.m. They'd work really hard, sweat really hard for an hour to move school desks out of the way and replace it with kids' toys and mats and cribs and all kinds of different things. And even though that was a lot of hard work, and one of the biggest changes that we've experienced moving into this new building is that we have all of this wonderful space that we don't have to do those things anymore. It was actually a real blessing, and it brought people together as they served together and worked hard together and did it for the sake of the church and the growth and discipleship of our campus.
One of the best memories is when they started working on the church building here, and they had the basic structure up. We came to the grounds here, and we had just a prayer service over the building. And I remember we were in the middle of this building. There were no walls, just like I said, the basic bare bones, and everyone just went out with a Sharpie and wrote on the beams. So you can't see them here today because they have walls up and everything, but just know behind those walls on these beams are probably 100 plus different either Bible verses or sayings or prayers, really all invested in what God can do here at the Nocatee campus.
Our first Sunday here was Palm Sunday of 2019. The campus had been waiting so long to have a building. Honestly, it was an honor to be with our church as they were receiving this thing that they had been praying for and giving towards and excited for.
The growth that we were seeing people come to faith and seeing people moving to this area and joining our church, and our church started growing so quickly, and it was really, again, just exciting.
This church is exactly what it says. I mean, there's genuine love for people, and there's real love for Jesus, and that shows through everybody here. Everybody has been incredibly genuine. And when we have new people that come into the church, we hear the same thing. Like, everyone is so kind, so welcoming. It's like family.
Even just being a part of Wednesday night 7 months ago versus Wednesday night now, I mean, the classes are full, the dinners are full. Like she said, the growth is just phenomenal. And I think the coolest thing I've noticed is like the multi-generational growth. It's not just like one segment, it's all segments at the church. So there are several reasons we wanted to move back to this area and to Nocatee in general, but the church was a big part of it. And so we believed in what they were saying and what we were seeing and the direction it was going. And, we just literally talked about this yesterday, like it's been the best part of our move. I mean, our life is centered here. The activities are centered here. Our new friends, our support systems are centered here. So, I mean, it's been everything we had hoped it to be.
My burden for the Nocatee campus is truly the mission of our church. So I want our church to reach all of Nocatee. And the unique thing about Nocatee is the way this community is set up, I think we could do it. I think we could ensure and take responsibility for making sure that every resident of Nocatee has the opportunity to hear the gospel of Jesus Christ and respond to it. I want to see that happen. I want to see our church reach all of Nocatee with the gospel, that we would be able to engage with every resident here and make sure that they have an opportunity to respond to Jesus. I want to see God make our ministries fruitful and make our church fruitful, that marriages are being restored through our biblical counseling ministry, that leaders are being raised up to teach God's word in Sunday school classes, that teenagers in our youth group are getting called to missions or called to be on mission in jobs and careers, or going out to college and being faithful to the Lord. I want to see our families growing and discipling their children and having homes that are showing who Jesus is to their neighbors. I want to see our people being faithful and fruitful to reach out to their neighbors and share the gospel with them. And I want to see us growing in that way. I want to see us growing so that we are looking more like Christ and that we are salt and light in Nocatee. So if I could have my way for the next 15 years, that's what I would want. I would want to see us faithful, and I would want us to see us bearing real fruit for the kingdom in Nocatee.